So today's Japanese slang term / phrase comes from the anime manga Frieren Journey's End, except that it doesn't. To explain, the term here, それは流石に嘘だよ, literally means that is absolutely a lie. And the way that this phrase is used is not to call out an actual liar, but it's in response to somebody noting the passage of time in a way that makes you feel kind of uncomfortable. For instance, if you were to note to me that it has been almost 30 years since the release of the first Pokemon game, I might respond to that by noting that that has to be a lie, as I refuse to recognize that I am now that old. For an example in the Japanese context, if you were to be told that the Magical Knight Rayoth series is now 30 years old, which means that one of the voice actresses is now in their 50s, I'd also respond by noting that それはさすがに嘘だよ. Even though, it's not, it's the truth. Now, this phrase exploded around the end of 2023, and indeed has become so popular that it's even made top meme phrase of the year lists for 2023. And unlike some of the other phrases I'm talking about, it's actually quite easy to find the origin of that because it is a tweet. Specifically, this tweet here, which comes from October of 2023, wherein somebody notes that a Kamen Rider series has been going on for longer than they expected. And they specifically do it by quoting Frieren and Fern from the anime / manga Frieren, which I mentioned earlier. And if you haven't seen, you should check out. It's fantastic. So here you can see Fern start by saying Frieren-sama, which is a phrase she often uses in the show, and then noting that the Kamen Rider show has been around for some time. Frieren then responds by, wow, time flies quickly, and then Fern comes back with, oh, by the way, this is the 5th anniversary of Kamen Rider Zio as well, to which Frieren is shown responding, Fern, that can't be true, but it is true, it's a fact. Now, when I started this video, I said that this comes from Frieren, but it actually doesn't. And the reason why is that this entire dialogue is made up. It's not a parody of something that actually is said in the show under any circumstances. It just kind of has the vibes of the show. They talk about the passage of time a lot in the show. This tweet kind of mocks that. And yes, you can now find fake drawings or manga panels which use this dialogue, but this phrase, "sasuga ni uso da yo," is never said by Frieren throughout the entire series, ever. That hasn't stopped it from popping off. Clearly, the sort of format here is one that fans of the show really vibe with. For instance, here you can see all of the things you saw in the last post being used to talk about the video game Hyoko Samurai. It starts by, again, taking the Fern voice, starting with Frieren-sama, talking about the age of it. Frieren then responds with, Fern then comes back with, something else has actually been going on longer than you expected, that Ruina is in its 16th anniversary, and then Frieren responds with, that's a lie, it's going to get a remake soon. And of course, it's not a lie, it has been going on for 16 years. That said, and again, as I showed at the very beginning, if you don't want to do this full exchange, you can't just shorten it to Sasuga ni uso da yo after stating the year of something. For instance, this person notes that the car they got is in its 20th anniversary, and while they do start with Frieren-sama, they don't do the whole dialogue, they just end then with, no, that's not true. The car's only been around for 10 years, but no, it's been around for 20. So if you're scared by the passage of time and a fan of the Frieren show, here's a way of expressing that emotion while also showing your fandom. And yeah, it is weird that this quote is associated with the show, but has never been said in the show. But look, I've been studying Japanese for 20 years now, and weird things like this happen. Wait, 20 years? No. それはさすがに嘘だよ.